Hey guys, how's it going? In this video, I talked to Jon Kriedman of Dad University. We talk about how you can be the best dad you can be if you're gonna be an expectant dad. Coming up. For the new viewers, can you introduce yourself? Tell me what you're about.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Jon Cheung. I run Dad University. We produce videos. I have a podcast. Any kind of content that's going to help dads and educate dads along their journey.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love it. What made you want to get started with that? What inspired you?
You know, it was probably my own struggles. I was having my second child and said, there's got to be an easier way of doing this. You know, I didn't learn the first time with my first kid. And so yeah, it was really my own struggles and understanding, you know, how can I learn to be a better dad? And then did some classes and took some training and stuff, and then just the experience obviously of being a father. So I started just pushing out content and the things that I learned, and it seemed to resonate with people. You know, it seemed to, I was doing a podcast and I started a podcast, and it just seemed to resonate that people would say, you know, hey, that really helped me, or, you know, hey, I'm going through the same problems that you are. And so at first, you know, I thought I was alone, but, you know, as a dad, we often think that, but the truth is like, we're all going through the same stuff.
That's awesome. And, you know, actually, yeah, I love the concept of the Dad University, what they don't teach you in school. I think that's great. For those that haven't heard of a class or anything like that, how did you find that class?
So in my local area, originally it was offered through my children's preschool. And so there was a teacher, I've actually interviewed her on my podcast. She was a mentor of mine, and she was a parenting coach for like 20 years. And I just was like, you know, my wife had convinced me to go. I'm like, I guess, like I came from really good parents. I'm like, I guess I can go, you know, and my wife was the one who said, hey, you know, you get frustrated with this and frustrated with that, like maybe they can help. And I just loved it. The idea of being able to like solve some of the issues that I was facing, and I just felt like I had more tools that for many different situations when you're dealing with kids, you know, we get upset or frustrated because we don't know how to handle it. And so when you learn, you know, there's this scenario and then that scenario, and once you've learned that, like, it's kind of the same things like that happens, everyone goes through the same stuff. Oh, they're frustrated with this, or they can't find this, or they are upset about this. When you learn how to deal with that stuff, it gives you peace of mind. You know, it makes me calmer. I don't get upset as much. And I think that was something I found myself getting very frustrated and angry. And that's because I didn't know what to do. You know?
And so, Jason, what are, you know, top 2 or 3 things you learned from that class that you took?
There was a lot. One of the big topics on my channel is empathy. You know, we've talked about that in the previous interview. It's really putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. I did a whole video about that, and it really, when you learn to put yourself in other people's shoes and look at things from other people's perspective, you get along with them better, you know, and things don't frustrate you as much. You realize, wow, the person might be going through the same thing. So learning empathy as it relates to my child was a big deal. To look at my, you know, 4-year-old who's getting upset and say, well, listen, let me try to put myself where they are right now. They're getting upset at this, because when I look at it from an adult standpoint, it doesn't make sense. Like, why are you getting upset that you can't find your shoes? Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, go find your shoes. But yet, when you look at it as from a 4-year-old's perspective, it's very, very different. And so empathy, for me, was probably the most powerful parenting technique, if you will. So that was a big one. I'd say the other was not trying to be perfect. You know, kind of living up to an expectation. Just kind of self-acceptance of like, hey, I'm learning as I go. You know, I wasn't around kids. I didn't babysit. So, you know, there wasn't really a manual. And so that was kind of the goal with Dad University. That's a good slogan, like, you know, the manual for parenting. But it's this idea that we can be taught, you know, and if somebody kind of shows you some of the ropes and some of the things that they've gone through, it's really helpful.
Cool. And so for those that don't have access to the class, are there any online resources you recommend? I mean, I'll definitely link your videos up here in the link, but anything online that you can point to? Yeah, I mean, you know, for me, certainly watching videos, reading articles, all that's been really helpful, you know, and yeah, for me, I've tried to come up with videos and topics that
people seem to have issues with, or maybe that they're demanding, that they want to learn more about. And some of the times I come up with a topic just based on my own experience. You know, I'm dealing with something with my children, and I say, well, that's a great topic, you know, or I have friends that are going through something, and now that they know I'm doing this stuff, they'll say, like, hey, Jason, what do you think about that? I just got a call the other day with a really, close friend of mine had a really serious topic that he was dealing with, and I'm hoping that I can do that, you know, as a video, and it's the idea that people need that help. So
I see. Well, cool. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah. Jason, thanks so much for
absolutely, man. It was great.
It was great to interview you. We're at Dad Summit. I just ran into Jason, and we're having an awesome time here. So as you know, New Dads is all about inspiring you to be the best new dad you can be, just to be the best version of yourself that you can be. It's also for anybody with a soft spot for new dads. So if you're into that kind of thing, consider subscribing below. And if you want to get the best education, knowledge out there for new and expectant dads, check out Jason's channel.
I thought you were going to say somebody else. Wow,
Dad University, that's the way you want to go. So it was great having you.
Yeah,
thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.